Hello, today I'm going to be making a video about why you could probably become a doctor. And you might have some certain perceptions or assumptions, and I mean most people do, right, about what it's like to be a doctor or at least become a medical student and if it's right for you. I'm madeogun. I'm a second year medical student, and I just wanted to make this video to let people know about a little bit from my change in perspective as being a medical student in the eyes of seeing what it's like to be a doctor, how I can explain that to other people and let them see the different perspectives that they could have. The general stereotypical doctor, they're usually a nerd, like they have to be smart, that they need to be a cut above the rest. I mean, people know that medicine is one of the hardest degrees. Medicine, law, engineering, one of the more challenging degrees. Also, people usually see doctors at higher status above other people, generally, right? Because of the nature of what they have to do, and also the hard work, the rigorous work that they put in for people to be able to come out on the other side and be able to treat people properly. But there are some negatives where some people have white coat syndrome, where they are scared of doctors for certain reasons, maybe their past experiences or just because of what they've seen in the media, and they just don't fully understand what it means to be talking or interacting with a doctor fully, and they have limited experiences with the doctor, right? So wake up. Okay. Okay. It's fine to have some of those assumptions, right? But don't forget that at the end of the day, doctors are just people at the end of the day. They're just people who decided to study medicine because maybe they were interested, maybe they had some goal in the background, maybe they like the kind of sciences that it has to do with, maybe they want to help people and this is just one of the routes they want to do. Maybe they want to do research. Maybe they want to become a professor. And of course, money is important too, but that's not the main focus because it's only going to motivate you for so long. And there are many other ways. Maybe they want to do, there's so many things, right? There's so many pathways you can go. And yes, the pathway is hard, I won't lie. Like, the work is still rigorous, so you have to be above average in working hard. Smarts and intelligence really is just about making good decisions, and it's just a symptom, I think at least. It's just a symptom of good practice, of good studying habits, good studying skills, and consistency, I think. And you need resilience, I will say that too. I mean, most people here, they're one of the smarter people, right? They did well in high school, and now they're here and they have to fight with the other people who are also smart. So it's like another step. I would say the fight isn't really about fighting others per se, more about fighting your own past self and improving each time to improve your own results. Because generally people are really working together to help each other succeed. It might feel like you're fighting others, but you're really not. And even the course load is just harder, so then they're just going to see themselves relatively to other people will be just different, right? So you need mental resilience, and you also need physical resilience. You need to be able to do the work when you need to do it. You need to make good decisions and be consistent when you study. That's basically it. So yes, you need to be smart, but more in that scope. Regarding white coat syndrome, on the perspective of people having bad experiences with doctors, me personally, when I did one internship so far for a month, I had on and off, but for the most part, the nurses and doctors were kind, but they were definitely busy, right? And people, when they work long hours and they work long shifts, eventually they're going to be a little bit, like they won't be at 100% and they won't be smiling all the time, but the general energy is upkept, they're still trying. And white coat syndrome can just be just like an off-put perception of a bad situation, or like someone in a bad light, like they saw someone at the wrong time, you could say. So throw away the white coat syndrome. Don't be scared. We're just people. Like, some people, everybody has a bad day, everybody has bad days. Why should doctors be accepted? Of course, we still need to execute on what we need to do. And I know other doctors understand that. I'm not a doctor, I'm just a doctor in training, medical student. I think medical student, doctor in training puts you in the right perspective that you should be thinking of, like, tomorrow you could be in the ER. Tomorrow you could be seeing a patient, right? So you should be thinking and acting as if everything you learn is useful, which it is. I mean, sometimes there are things very specific, but for the most part, everybody has their own reasons why they become doctors, and you see their passion and their drive and why they do certain things in when they're practicing, you know? When you actually get to know a person, a medical student, a doctor, you're gonna see that yes, it was a hard journey, but once you get to talk to them, you meet them, you're gonna see that they're just regular people. Like, they just put their time, effort, blood, sweat, tears into this degree. And I'm only 1 and a bit years in, and I can see the journey is not going to be easy still. It almost seems like it's only just going to get harder. Maybe 4th year gets a bit easier. Maybe. I don't think so. Me personally, becoming a doctor, the reason why mainly was because of wanting to help people, interest in the subject. I'm pretty good at the subject. Familial encouragement. My father is an emergency physician. My mother is a pharmacist. So I have some little something in there. And that's it. There's a couple more, but when I'm studying, those are the kind of things I think about. And just the end goal also is important. Yes, the journey is important. It's very important. You don't want to overstudy. You don't want to get bored and stuff, but the end goal is to succeed as a doctor. And me personally, as a kid, I actually had a better perspective on how it was to become a doctor because yes, I had family members who were in the field and I already kind of saw what they were going through, and I could see the direct impact of how they were living and how they experience things, you know. You could probably become a doctor if you're smart, diligent, consistent, you work hard, and you're willing to learn, you're open to helping people, and you're open to being a leader, basically, being able to be self-acting. And of course, I tried to dispel the stereotypes, but it's inevitable because those stereotypes are just symptoms of people's experiences and just media and just things like that. Just be realistic, don't be pessimistic, and you got it. And after all of the hard work studying, internships, exams, tests, mini tests, practical tests, oral tests, you'll finally be able to reap everything that you've sown and finally be a doctor and finally be able to exercise all of the things you've learned and help people to the fullest of your ability. Thank you for listening. If you want to see more of me, I have a YouTube channel called Madeogun or madeolaogun, where I'm going to post other things I'm interested in. All right, so